Do you remember that situationship you were in like a couple of years ago, or toxic ex, or a fling that you somehow developed feelings for? You're not grieving them, you're grieving the life that you thought you get to spend with them. The parties, the dinners that you thought you'd get to go with them, the family that you thought you would meet, the commitment and the devotion you thought they would make to you, but they didn't. You're grieving the person that they never were and never will be to you. So let me ask you a question. Would you prefer to live with someone who causes you a lot of pain? Someone who doesn't even care if you are sick? Someone who doesn't even care if you're even having a bad day? Someone who would abandon you anytime they want it? Someone who would take what they want and betray your trust? Some of you may say, I would rather take it than being alone. And that's valid and I can understand. But the pain that you're feeling isn't coming from losing a terrible person. If someone keeps beating you on the road every day when you're going to the office and that bully will be gone, you won't grieve the loss of the bully. You would feel relieved, even at peace. That's because humans are wired to avoid pain and pursue pleasure. Also because your brain is wired for survival. So you are not screaming, crying, and throwing up because you lost someone who hurts you consistently. It's because you found someone that you thought would somehow fulfill your need to be loved, maybe healed, and your desire to feel joy and to feel excited. But it turned out to be a big hoax, and it's now becoming clearer to you that they didn't live up to what you thought they are or what you thought they would be. Think of them as a hologram. Looks real, but it's not really there. They may have made promises that they didn't keep, may have said a lot of things they didn't mean. There was a lot of stories, perhaps, that they fed you and made you believe, and you yourself create a story for yourself about them. Maybe next time they will keep the promises. Maybe next time they will do what they say. But each time, this beautiful castle, strong, reliable, long lasting building that you saw for yourself in front of you, you saw on 3D, like you saw in 3D, so real and lifelike. That's how holograms are, but they just disappear. You're trying to reach out and grab onto it and keep it close to you. You try to cling to it, but you can't because it wasn't there in the first place. You were gaslighting yourself, believing there was something, but there wasn't. You grieve and you feel this pain that you cannot escape. Not for them exactly, but not because of them exactly, but what they represented. So, what did they represent? What need did they fulfill in your life? Was it validation? Did they validate how you look or how you feel? Did they fill your loneliness void for a couple of minutes? Did they make you feel safe? But it all comes down to one reality, and that is the abandonment, the betrayal, the deception, or the unwillingness to commit to you, the unreturned or unrequited commitment. Maybe their flattery was intoxicating. Smooth talkers have a way of inducing a trance like state in you. It's in social science research, mostly related to psychopaths, but psychopathy is a trait, so people may have it in high amounts, and smooth talkers are more likely to have it. And you know what happens when you are in a trance? You listen, you forget what's real, and whatever they're doing or what they need to do, they get done by you. And throughout the process, you don't know what happened. They painted a picture of a really beautiful castle, and it's reliable, stable, and beautiful, but it's just not true. The reason you're unwilling to accept the truth of who they are is because it will also break the illusion of who you thought they were, or it will break who you want them to be. Just because you face the truth doesn't mean it's the end of love or the end of the world. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world for you. Truth isn't something to be scared of. So face it. Face their inconsistency. Face the lies. Face the unkept promises. Face the fact that they don't care. And it doesn't say that something's wrong with you. It's the elephant in the room. At one point, you're gonna have to face it. And it's okay. You're not going to turn into ashes if you face that truth. The elephant may really bother you. It'll even attack you at one point. But hey, you're gonna be fine. Unless you face the truth, you can't commit to move on to better things. Maybe a part of you believes there aren't better things, and that is an illusion your brain loves to create. It's doing this to save you. It thinks, well, they abandoned me, so it's best to think nothing will ever go right. So I stay prepared for the worst. So I'll not try. I will not put myself out there again in dating. So if I don't try, I won't have to go through this pain again. And that's good for my survival, even though I will miss chances and opportunities with the right people. Maybe if you believe I'm not going to be loved ever, you accept it and never put yourself out there, or never put yourself through dating, or try to love, then you're not going to have to experience a horrible, horrible wound again. That's a survival mechanism. And life isn't just about surviving. Because you're not in the Stone Age anymore. Your brain is scared of the truth because it's a lot to process. It takes a lot of effort and energy. It's a lot to bear, a lot of disappointment, a lot of frustration. All those old wounds tend to resurface. It's a threat to your survival. There's no one to fill the void anymore, to make you feel that validation that they made you feel for a couple of minutes, to give you that momentary safety, to make you feel good about yourself for a couple of minutes. What happens in emotionally charged situations like this is your amygdala takes control, and your prefrontal cortex, that is responsible for rational thinking about things, or like rationally thinking about things, making sane judgments, emotional regulation, that part kind of takes the backseat. I always imagine it like you and your PFC is there in a swimming pool with no water, and the amygdala takes control and fills the pool with water, and the PFC is like drowning, and you're out here trying to survive, trying to swim out of the water, and you can't really look for PFC because amygdala is causing so much drama, and PFC is still screaming, and you kind of hear it in the background. You know, it's saying things like, yo, can you hear me? Hey, look over here. This is what's happening. This is not the end of the world. This is not the end of love for you. No, this isn't the worst thing that could happen to you. But you can't truly hear it because amygdala sort of makes sure the PFC is actually drowning, so it can't really scream that loud to the extent that you can hear it. You try to make your dreams come true, but through the wrong person. The things you wanted and the experiences you wanted, but you never got the chance to experience. You try to fulfill it through the wrong person. And you wanted this person to be the right person because you wanted to get those wishes come true as soon as possible. To feel belonged, to feel loved, cherished, protected, and safe. Now that they abandoned you, you don't think those can be fulfilled at all. So my small rant aside, I want you to do something. I want you to reflect on what about them do you miss? How did they make you feel? And what about those feelings do you miss? Write it all down. See for yourself if it makes any sense. What do you need that you thought this person could fulfill or will fulfill? What needs did they fulfill and what needs didn't they fulfill? Get honest with yourself about it. And you may already know the answers, but I'm telling you to write it down because it's easier for your brain to process and digest it when you write or record it, sort of externalize it. When you are writing answers for these questions, there's always one thing that you need to keep in mind, and that is this person able to, willing to, and ready to fulfill these needs of mine? If the person is able to and ready to fulfill those needs, but is not willing to fulfill it, that's disappointing, that is frustrating. But there's no point putting in effort, and you definitely need to commit moving forward. That's all I have for you today. I will see you in my next video.